Welcome to Empowered, Hawaii's clean energy future. Throughout this 12-part series, we'll dive into the importance of clean energy, why it's so critical, and how each person can make an impact.
We'll hear from local families, businesses, and community leaders who are taking action to tackle the climate crisis, reduce energy costs, and create a more resilient future for all. But first, let's take a look back to where this journey all began when Hawaii made history with the nation's first ever 100% renewable energy law.
Climate is a threat to all of us, and particularly in Hawaii, because as an island state, we are vulnerable to things like sea level rise and also extreme weather events. We certainly have examples of that recently. And a lot of our built environment is built right along the shoreline. So we're gonna feel those impacts sooner than later. A decade ago, Hawaii had no long-term vision for energy independence. We relied on about one super tanker per week in imported oil, a fossil fuel, just for our energy needs. And we burned about 10 million barrels of oil annually just to make electricity. And yet Hawaii has an abundance of renewable energy resources and not a drop of fossil fuels. Hawaii lacked a vision to wean ourselves off of climate-changing carbon-based fuels, so Blue Planet proposed one. We thought, what would be the right goal for us to set as a state? And there really was only one answer, and that was 100% renewable energy. No state in the country had done it, and only a few countries had even considered such an audacious goal. Many people were skeptical. People told us that it was impossible or that it would be impossibly expensive. Blue Planet wanted to set this vision for 100% clean energy, so we launched a large community campaign to push for the policy. As part of our campaign, we worked with Hawaii's youth. So they drew pictures of what they wanted their clean energy future to look like, and they delivered those drawings to lawmakers to show them that this is something that they wanted for their future. After this 3-year community campaign in 2015, lawmakers passed the first in the nation 100% renewable energy goal, and Governor Ige signed it into law. With the 100% policy, Hawaii became the first state in the country to set such a bold vision for its clean energy future, and is now a beacon of inspiration for other places across the country. Because Hawaii really took this step to be the first and lead the way, it's really inspiring other states and countries across the world to set similar visions. 3 years after Hawaii passed its first 100% renewable energy law, California passed a similar goal and actually chose the same date as Hawaii, 2045. And now nearly a dozen other states have set 100% clean energy targets following Hawaii's lead. Recognizing that there's a lot of exciting activity and vision happening in Hawaii, Blue Planet launched the Power Forward initiative, which is telling Hawaii's story of 100% clean energy across the globe in hopes of inspiring other places to write their own stories. And now we're trying to figure out the best path forward in a way that's equitable, that doesn't leave people behind. And those lessons are really powerful, and we want to share what we're learning with other places who are considering similar policies. There's a lot happening in this transition to 100% clean energy, so we really encourage everyone to get involved and be part of the conversation. You can visit Blue Planet's website at blueplanetfoundation.org to learn more about the clean energy transition and also how you can get involved.
Aloha, my name is Kimi Kawasaki. I was born and raised here in Oahu in the Salt Lake area, and I am a freshman at UH Manoa studying botany. In 2015, when Hawaii passed the 100% clean energy law, I was 13. Learning about the 100% clean energy law really inspired me, because to know that we had such a bold goal in mind for Hawaii in order to really prioritize the security and safety of our islands in the future. It's very exciting that Hawaii is a leader when it comes to clean energy, because as an island state, I think we're already feeling a lot of the impacts of rising sea levels, flooding, and erosion. And it's really important that we make this step, and also through this law that we could inspire other states across the country to also create their own 100% clean energy laws. I participated in the Climate Crew program when I was a senior, and through the program we learned how to advocate at the legislature, write testimony, and also create our own programs or activities that we wanted to do in order to advocate about climate change issues. Several things that I've done to address climate change was to present at my neighborhood board about climate change issues, also to write testimony to the legislator and propose the idea of a community garden in my community. Students can help contribute to creating a better Hawaii. I think first by just starting conversations with their families or their friends about climate change issues that really mean a lot to them. And then I think also starting their own activities or projects about climate change issues to help advocate, and also voting plays a really big role. 100% clean energy matters to me because I think at the end of the day, it would create a lot of peace of mind to know that the energy that I use is sourced from renewable energy sources. And through my studies with botany, help come up with new solutions to address climate change.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 1260, Bridging the Pacific. We believe in empowering our members to improve their lives. Through ensuring competitive wages, promoting advanced skill levels, and providing job security, we strive to elevate our members' quality of life. With close to 3,000 members from Hawaii to Guam and Wake Island.
Help us lead the change. Contact us today to see what membership can do for you.
IBEW Local 1260, Bridging the Pacific. Here in Hawaii, we depend on the energy industry to fuel our economy. For isolated islands like Hawaii, it's a challenge to find an energy source that's reliable and affordable at the same time. At Suma Farms, we researched and discovered biomass energy from locally grown banana grass. An energy crop that doesn't affect public health and has no scarcity. Banana grass itself is also a significant carbon bank. With banana grass, we can replace fossil fuels and lessen our carbon footprint by 85%. Banana grass is an excellent source of sustainable, renewable energy and creates additional job opportunities for our people in Hawaii. With Suma Farms and banana grass, let's help Hawaii lead the way with green, renewable energy.
What is energy other than life? It's there in your brightest moments, your biggest victories, your craziest adventures. Now, we're turning energy up a notch. AES is bringing the future of renewable power to Hawaii, a future that's sustainable, digital, at your fingertips, and always getting smarter because you want a life actually full of life, and we want to have the energy to get you there.
Between sea level rise, major weather events, and catastrophic flooding, we've seen here in Hawaii how climate change impacts each and every one of us.
But some have felt the effects more than others.
Aloha, my name is Katie, and I am the manager here at Waiahole Nursery and Garden Center. We are located in beautiful Windward, Oahu, on the scenic route to the North Shore. We've been in business here for 10 years now, and our sole purpose is to help educate people on sustainable growing. We focus mostly on aquaponics gardening, and we also work with Oahu's special needs population, mostly autistic individuals who are looking for vocational training and to help out with things around the house or to get skills for job placement. March is notoriously kind of a rainy month here on the windward side. You know, we get showers every day, so we're really prepared for lots of rain, especially at our farm. And then March 7th, it was a rainy morning. The skies opened up and down came a downpour. And then all of the sudden, a flash flood. You know, they say it comes quickly and turn around, don't drown. Well, it came for us, and unfortunately the Waiahole stream at the bridge got clogged with debris, and so the water came over the banks and made a new route right through our store. The entire parking lot got washed away, like all of the top rocks, down the road, out on Kamehameha Highway. We lost a bunch of plants from the landscape that got uprooted and washed away. All of our trash bins and all of our containers washed away down the street. We had to track them down in the morning. We have like some decorative bridges and some benches and things that we use for, you know, around our property and our landscape. Those all got moved and lifted up. We sustained flooding up to our ankles in our gift shop, in our design area, in our workshop areas and front lobby, which resulted in a layer of mud that we literally had to use a pressure washer inside the building to get rid of, and lots of sanitation to follow. I'm a little worried about, you know, the climate change and how it's affecting the volume of these storms. So it's something that I really hope, you know, global change can address. And I really hope that people can get on board with making some of those changes. I know personally it seems like this huge burden and something that can't be overcome by one person, but I do believe that if we all band together and do the right things and protect the Aina, that we will be able to make an impactful difference, especially here in Hawaii. And everybody's so concerned about the environment and we're so isolated that I think that we could really start a good movement in Hawaii and show aloha to the Aina and help everybody make good decisions.
Aloha, my name is Liko Ho, and our family does the Waiahole Poi Factory. The original poi factory is from 1905, and our family got the lease here in the 1970s. And today we do traditional Hawaiian food as well as a little bit of traditional Hawaiian arts. You know, growing up and going to school in Waiahole Elementary, you know, I would say we had one of the most beautiful environments, you know, and communities where you can really feel the place. It's not all covered up. You can actually see the ocean, you can see the rivers. Growing up for me, that was part of our playground. You know, really the river was our playground. You know, it's not uncommon to have rain in Waiahole. You know, Waiahole, Waikane. The first part of both of those names is Wai, which is fresh water. We've had floods before, and I would say this past recent flood was the biggest I've seen it. The height, I think from sea level of the river here is about 8 feet normally. And that day, it's the highest that I've noticed it, and it went to over 50, almost 16 feet. I was here most of the time. You know, you can kind of appreciate the movement of the water, and you know, I mean, we already know that the water is powerful, but when you're right there, you know, you can feel that also. As far as the impact and damage of the recent floods, the main impact is just the water flowing through with all of the silt that's coming down from the valley. And so most of our cleanup and our restoration was cleaning out, you know, all of that mud. But we also were impacted because the pumps that supply water to the whole valley of Waiahole were damaged, and it took a few days to repair those pumps. You know, things are becoming more intense, yeah, more extreme. So you get a lot of water at one time, or very dry, you know. So you get these kind of extreme situations. You know, climate change is something that impacts us directly, but, you know, it impacts our whole world too, yeah, which of course we're a part of. The environment is a part of who we are, and also is, I would say, more powerful than us. But we add into how it changes, yeah? It's important for us to try not to change it in a direction that we can't change it back from. But I think it's all worth it. And I think that's the hopeful side. You know, even in the struggle, even in the challenge, there's a lot of things that we're lucky to be a part of. We're lucky to have the opportunity to be a part of changing.
Empowered is brought to you in part by Hawaiian Electric and Ulupono Initiative.
At Hawaiian Electric, we keep the lights on, at home, at school, and at work. Together, we're exceeding Hawaii's renewable energy goals. You've made Hawaii the leader in residential solar, and we're introducing community solar. You can charge electric vehicles at home, at work, and at charging stations throughout the islands. We're committed to a 100% clean energy future, and we'll get there working together. Hawaiian Electric, empowering our communities, empowering you.
Ulupono Initiative's mission is to improve the quality of life of the people of Hawaii by working to produce more local food, more renewable energy, clean transportation, and then better management of water and waste.
Who we collaborate with makes all the difference. That's why Ulupono Initiative partners with local organizations who strive for a more sustainable Hawaii.
We want to make sure that we're balancing community, policy, and investment to make Hawaii better for everyone.
Visit ulupono.com to learn more.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 1260, Bridging the Pacific. We believe in empowering our members to improve their lives. Through ensuring competitive wages, promoting advanced skill levels, and providing job security, we strive to elevate our members' quality of life. With close to 3,000 members from Hawaii to Guam and Wake Island.
Help us lead the change. Contact us today to see what membership can do for you.
IBEW Local 1260, Bridging the Pacific.
What is energy other than life? It's there in your brightest moments, your biggest victories, your craziest adventures. Now, we're turning energy up a notch. AES is bringing the future of renewable power to Hawaii, a future that's sustainable, digital, at your fingertips, and always getting smarter because you want a life actually full of life, and we want to have the energy to get you there.
We've seen the reality of the changing climate and the effects on our island home, but Hawaii has made great progress towards reducing carbon emissions and accelerating our clean energy goals.
The island of Kauai is attracting global recognition as a model for renewable energy, running off of clean energy more than 60% of the time. Take a look at the incredible work happening on the Garden Isle.
Right now, a sunny day like it is today, we'll be producing at 100%. And probably from about 9 o'clock to 2, 3 in the afternoon, we'll be running 100% renewable. And we're running off the sun, biomass, water, and using our batteries to supplement the intermittent nature of the sun when clouds come over. So the big challenge is, it's one thing going from 1 hour to several hours a day, but moving towards 100% renewable where it's 24 hours a day is much more challenging than 8 hours, because you got to have a way to store the sun if you're going to use it, and the sun is our cheapest source of energy. So we've moved overall, we're at about 60% renewable, but the next 40% is going to be a big push to get there. It gets harder each percentage you have to achieve. KIUC is different than other utilities in Hawaii because we are the only cooperative utility in the state. And as a cooperative utility, we're nonprofit. We have no outside shareholders to be concerned about. We just have to run the utility as effectively, efficiently, and reliably as we can for our members, which are the ratepayers of Kauai. So there's no income that stays with the company that gets distributed out to shareholders. So whatever we make in terms of excess earnings over what we need to fund our operations gets credited back to the co-op members. So if we make anything excess from the utility sales, it goes back to the people that use us as an investment in the utility. Since we've been formed in 2002, KIUC has refunded $30 million to the members here on Kauai. Renewable energy does make sense economically in Hawaii, and it's given KIUC, since we've been formed, have got to stabilize our rates, and we forecast as we bring more and more renewable on, we'll continue to be able to keep our rates stable and potentially with some decline. And when I say keeping it stable, I'm talking for 20, 25 years out, the rates will be the same as they are today. And when you figure inflation, that's really effectively a significant reduction in the rates, the effective rates of what the people will be paying. The secret to KIUC's success on bringing in a large amount of renewables is probably three key things. One is the desires of our membership, our owners. They were very clear from the time we were formed that they wanted to be a renewable-based energy supplier for the island. Two is our excellent staff. We've got top-notch engineers, technical people, financial people, and really throughout the organization, we've got very good people to actually make it happen. And third is the partnerships we've made, both with community landowners, outstanding corporations such as Tesla, AES, and we've all worked together because it really takes the whole island and this high level of technical expertise internally and from our great companies to make the achievements that we've done happen. KIUC has a very exciting project in the works on the west side of Kauai. It's called the West Kauai Energy Project, and it's a combination pump storage hydro, photovoltaic energy, and battery storage, which when that project goes online, probably in 2024, if all goes well, that'll be another 20–25% of our energy supply for the island will come from that, and that'll push us up 80–85% or more renewable. It's the first of its kind. Nowhere else has solar energy been stored using pump storage, but the pump storage is a very efficient, cost-effective method of storing energy, and what we need to do is have long-duration storage moving past 4 hours, 6 hours to 12 hours or more of storage a day. So the sun will shine, we'll run large pumps, pump the water uphill during the daytime, and at nighttime or when the sun isn't shining, we can let the water run downhill. It'll spin a turbine for us, and we can get a large amount of renewable energy from that. Increasingly, climate change is the #1 issue facing Hawaii and facing the world, and bringing on more and more renewables helps show the country and show the world that renewables can be effectively brought onto a grid, reducing our climate impact. And as an island, we're seeing the impacts now on recent activity on the North Shore, Wailua, where the ocean is coming up close to us, and I think it's something we have to react to quickly and to show that it can be done, which we're doing here on Kauai as leaders in bringing on renewables. Some people do question whether it's possible to run a grid 100% on renewable energy, and KIUC has shown, as a matter of fact, that it can be done. Right now it's being done. We're running our grid 100% on renewable. Batteries combined with very good engineers and great partners to set up the controls and the engineering systems to handle it are what's needed, and we've proven it can be done.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 1260, Bridging the Pacific. We believe in empowering our members to improve their lives. Through ensuring competitive wages, promoting advanced skill levels, and providing job security, we strive to elevate our members' quality of life. With close to 3,000 members from Hawaii to Guam and Wake Island.
Help us lead the change. Contact us today to see what membership can do for you.
IBEW Local 1260, Bridging the Pacific. Here in Hawaii, we depend on the energy industry to fuel our economy. For isolated islands like Hawaii, it's a challenge to find an energy source that's reliable and affordable at the same time. At Suma Farms, we researched and discovered biomass energy from locally grown bana grass. An energy crop that doesn't affect public health and has no scarcity. Bana grass itself is also a significant carbon bank. With Banagrass, we can replace fossil fuels and lessen our carbon footprint by 85%. Banagrass is an excellent source of sustainable, renewable energy and creates additional job opportunities for our people in Hawaii. With Suma Farms and Banagrass, let's help Hawaii lead the way with green, renewable energy.
What is energy other than life? It's there in your brightest moments, your biggest victories, your craziest adventures. Now, we're turning energy up a notch. AES is bringing the future of renewable power to Hawaii, a future that's sustainable, digital, at your fingertips, and always getting smarter because you want a life actually full of life, and we want to have the energy to get you there.
Thank you for joining us for the first installment of Empowered. As you can see, what we're doing in Hawaii matters, and it's creating ripples beyond our shores by making Hawaii a model of clean energy progress that we can inspire and catalyze climate solutions globally.
If this past year has highlighted anything, it's the people of Hawaii are resilient. We look forward to taking this journey together, achieving a 100% clean energy future for our islands. Until next time, aloha.
We hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of Empowered. Blue Planet Foundation is committed to accelerating Hawaii's clean energy future through bold policy, creative storytelling, and impactful community programs. As a public charity, our work is largely supported through the generosity of individuals. To join our journey to Hawaii's 100% renewable energy future, we invite you to make a financial donation at blueplanetfoundation.org. Mahalo.
Empowered is proudly presented by IBEW Local 1260, AES, Bana Pacific, and Suma Farms.